In this week's portion, the date of the death of Aaron, brother of Moses, is recorded. In the 40th year, the 5th month, the first day of the month. And you know what that corresponds to? That date is Rosh Chodesh Av, the first day of the month of Av, which we are actually observing this week on Friday. The death of Aaron was recorded previously in a different section in the Torah. But it's recorded now because this portion that we read this week is always read at this time of the year as we mourn the destruction of the temple. And the Sfas Emes, one of the great Hasidic giants of all time, explains that God specifically coordinated the death of Aaron and mentioned the death of Aaron in the month of Av, at the beginning of the month of Av, because this is a time that we cry. This is a time that we mourn the destruction of the temple. And at the same time, while we're crying for the mourning of the destruction of the temple, we are reminded to cry over the loss of Aaron. Cry over the loss of Aaron. That was 3,300 years ago. Let's take a look at Pirkei Avos, Ethics of the Fathers, where we're taught, Havemi Talmidav Shel Aaron, be one of the students of Aaron. The students of Aaron. Aaron passed away 3,300 years ago. Love peace and pursue peace. That was Aaron's essence. When Aaron died, the whole Jewish people, men and women, everybody of all ages cried because Aaron was Ohev Shalom v'Rodev Shalom. He loved peace and pursued peace. So when we cry now for the destruction of the temple, and we are reminded of the passing of Aaron, the loss of Aaron, what does it mean? The loss of Aaron means to us the loss of love that we should have for one another. The loss of loving peace and pursuing peace. How many of us have feelings of animosity towards another Jew? And how many of us at the same time will say Kaddish, will say, Oseh Shalom Bimromav, He, the one God who makes peace in the heavens. Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, may He make peace among us. God, make peace. And we don't pursue peace. This is the time of year, as we mourn the destruction of the temple. It's a time to focus on our relationships and love for one another, and to think of Aaron, and to think of what can be accomplished when one makes the effort to try to make shalom. When we pray, and we say Kaddish, and say, Oseh Shalom Bimromav, He makes peace in heaven, may He make peace among us. Don't expect God to make peace for us if we don't try to make peace with one another. That's our job. That's our task. That's our challenge. Let's do in other words, let's bring what we say when we say Kaddish to actual action, to actual fruition, and be lovers of peace and pursuers of peace. And in that merit, may God help to bring to us speedily and soon loving peace and pursuing peace for the Jewish people and for all of mankind. Have a beautiful Shabbos.